Hi, boys and girls. In our stories this week, we're going to be discussing main idea. And as we read, I want you to pay close attention to what do you think the most important idea is. In stories, the author writes the details, right, or the little fine things that he wants us to find out. But from all those details, he also wants us to think about the main idea or what the big picture is in a story. All right? So as we read stories this week, I want you to pay attention to the details to help you puzzle piece together what you think the author's main idea is, or what do you think their most important idea that they want to tell us is. Okay? I'm going to let you look at these little pictures with me right now, and we're going to try to pay close attention to the details, and then from those details, we're going to help decide what do we think the main idea is. All right, so if we look at this building here, you could see that the name of this building says school. You also could see many different people, children, okay, and they're all kind of going to school in a different way, all right? This little boy is getting to school by bike. How are these two friends getting to school? They're walking. How are these children getting to school? By taking a bus. And this little girl, who's taking her to school, do you think? Maybe her mom, maybe a babysitter, maybe an aunt, but how are they traveling? They're traveling by car. Good job, boys and girls. So the details here, we looked at different ways that they were traveling, right? By bike, by car, by bus, by walking. So what do you think the main idea is? The main idea is that people can travel to school in different ways. That's the main idea. And the details, we could see that people can travel by bus, by car, by walking, or by riding their bike. Can you whisper to a friend or family member now, how did you get to and from school each day? My two children, Liam and Jenna, got to and from school by taking the bus. Mrs. Cloud got to and from work each day by taking her car. I drove to work each day. All right? So remember, the big idea here was that many people can take different means of transportation in getting to the same place. Good job, guys. So as we read stories today, I want you to pay attention to what do you think the author's main idea is. The story that we're going to read out loud today is called Traveling in London. Pay close attention to what you think the main idea is, and if you need to rewind this story and go back, you can always do that. All right. Traveling in London. London is a huge city in England, a country across the Atlantic Ocean. People in London can travel in many different ways. Many people drive cars. Some people take taxi cabs. Many people take buses. London was once famous for its red double-decker buses. When you got on one of those buses, you climbed narrow stairs to get to the top deck. Like many big cities, London has a subway system. Subways are trains that travel in underground tunnels. People go from the street downstairs to the subway station. There, they buy tickets and get on the trains. They can look at big maps to see which train to take to get where they want to go. All right, so I'm going to ask you this question. What is the main idea of this passage that we just read? The big picture. Boys and girls, if you were understanding these little details with me, the big idea was that people in London can travel in many different ways. Who can name me a way that people in London can travel? Can you tell me one of the details that you remember? Name me a way that a person in London can travel. Remember, London is a city in England, and cities are really populated, right? They have many people, many cars, many buses. So think about one way that they can travel. They can travel by cars. They can also take taxis, which are cabs. They can also travel. Oh, what kind of buses did they have? Do you remember? Those double-decker buses. And if you've ever been a tourist in another city, they often give rides in double-decker buses so you could stay on the first level, which is you're enclosed, right, like a normal bus, or at the top deck, it's usually open, and you can get all the fresh air, and you can see kind of from a higher standpoint on the bus the city. So that's a really cool thing to do. If you've never done that, maybe the next time you go visit a major city, you could try to ride on one of those, a double-decker bus. And another way that they can travel, boys and girls, we said was through subways. And we have subways here in Philadelphia. What it is just an underground tunnel with rails on it, and we can travel underground, okay? So those are a few different ways that people can travel. Those were the details, and by paying close attention to those details, we were able to figure out the main idea, which is that many people in London, in the city, they can travel lots of different ways. All right, guys, so good job paying close attention with me today about figuring out the main idea. As you read different stories this week, I want you to ask yourselves that question. What is the big idea? What's the most important thing that the author wants to tell us? Great job today, guys. Kiss your brain, and I'll see you next time. Bye.